Alright, how's it going? If you don't already know, I'm obviously Kryzen, and today I'll be doing a track breakdown of one of my new songs, Pixel Replica. Um, if you saw my Instagram thing, the most popular choice was Become Ruin. However, unfortunately, I was not able to get that project file to like function with the OBS. My CPU was just like getting destroyed with trying to use it. So maybe in the future I'll try and find a way to get that one to work and do a breakdown of that one. But for now, this was the second most requested, so I figured we can give this one a shot and see if people want more. But yeah, I just figured it'd be kind of cool to give like a little window into how I made some of the songs and stuff. So there we go. But yeah, so I guess I'll just hopefully the CPU I made these on like a laptop, so hopefully the CPU doesn't zonk me out here. But I guess I'll just kind of start with the beginning and kind of what's going on in the track. So it kind of starts with this kind of thing here, this bell like glitch thing. Originally, this is the very first demo of the song was just like a drum beat with like that just on its own, like this. Uh, and it was originally very Data Fire style, like super blown out, kind of blasted stuff, and then through like this is like the eighth iteration of this song. I landed on this as just like part of the intro here to just lead into the song. I think this is an alternate version of the intro I had going for a while. Yeah. So, unfortunately, I'm not totally sure what synth that was. It was probably, if I were to guess, the Wave Station, um, the Korg Wave Station. This is absolutely one of my favorite plugins. I used it all over this album. And yeah, I still use it all the time. It's really a good one for like, I guess like vaporwave type sounds. But one of my favorite things to do is just like pick through presets and like then just pile drive them with effects. And this one, the Korg M1, uh, the emulator was one I used a ton on this album, especially this marimba, bass marimba preset is like, I feel like the main sound of a lot of songs on the album was this marimba with the arpeggiator, but I'll get more into that as we go further. Basically, what's happening here is it was just kind of doing a lot of sample chopping of that bell patch and then just kind of resampling it over and over and over until it just became this kind of like unhinged like intro bit. So I'm over explaining the smallest thing, but yeah, so that's what's going on there. And then I also have this delay on here to get kind of that like grindily effect on it. Unfortunately, my stuff is so disorganized. Whenever I have to go back and do like a project file after I've stopped working on it, I just get so confused, but that's what's happening there. So yeah, I guess we can move into the actual song now. So kind of what's going on here is you've got this is that bass marimba preset from the emulator too. Just kind of lots of delay, chorus, and reverb and stuff on that. When I originally started the album, it was meant to be much more of like a utopian virtual sort of kind of vaporwave experience, and then it kind of slowly morphed into like an introspective pop album. But I feel like this song has the most remnant from the original concept of what it was. Over down here, I've got that sample that you hear. Oh, up here actually. So this is, hopefully, it's uncleared, so hopefully no one comes at me. But this I like, ripped from some YouTube video that was like a bunch of Hawaiian commercials. And I like clipped that little section. Here's kind of what it sounds like. So that's kind of like I clipped this one little section and then put that really big uh, stereo delay on it to get that like kind of just echo there. And it comes in like halfway through the sample, so it only gets that back half. So yeah, that was honestly one of my favorite parts about the song, was that sample. And then the drums is nothing too special, just kind of some 707 type action going on, I believe. And then over in here, it's not too much processing going on either, just kind of some EQing and stuff. One thing I do a lot with my snares is I'll do Valhalla Vintage Verb and then put a gated reverb on it and then like crank it out with compression afterwards. This time I just use a Soundgoodizer, but that's a big like Horizon hallmark, I feel, is the gated reverb on the snare like that and then bouncing it big time. So here we have the bass. So this is just an edited patch from the Jupiter. Nothing too crazy. I think I just found this patch and just changed it a little bit. So one thing I do a lot in my music is I take presets and I just like find weird ways to use them and stuff. On Datafire and a lot of my older stuff, I made almost everything from scratch, but as time has gone on, I've gotten way more into just like kind of taking something pre-existing and just like wrecking it, if that makes any sense. Just kind of some added hats layered on. So there's definitely a lot of effects going down on the bass line here, so I can kind of try and walk you through them. So basically just I got the cutoff, and then I'm actually not sure what this LFO modulation is doing. Let's find out. I haven't looked at this project file in like honestly so long, so I'm kind of learning with everyone here, but okay, yeah, it was just kind of a cutoff LFO there, and then just adding in some of the effects. It looks like 2 from here. Effects 1 is a chorus. Okay, yeah. So just this is some chorus adding in, and then this is the reverb that like kind of like makes it go almost, I don't know, it almost sounds like dubstep style to me. I don't know, that gives me very big EDM vibes for some reason, that part at the end. So I was like, oh, that's kind of cool, let's keep it. But yeah, that's kind of the intro, like beginning section. It's honestly nothing too crazy. Oh yeah, this is a little bit from the intro that I clipped in right here. Just kind of another little section to try and preserve the original idea, and add like, one of my favorite things to do is add like a little tiny detail that just it happens one time in the song just for like 1 second. So I was kind of trying to do that there. Alright, there's a lot of kind of wackiness going on in the second part. This main chord patch is from the Wave Station. It should be an edited preset as per usual. Yeah, so it's this pluck marimba preset, but I kind of took away the attack, so it turned into more of a pad. And yeah, when I wrote these chords though, I remember freaking out because I thought this like third dissonant chord sounded so cool. Still kind of hits. But yeah, so that's the synths in that section. But this part's mostly like kind of weird drum stuff going on. So right in here, I've got a lot of just strange filter stuff going on. So it's like high passing and then low passing. I was kind of trying to replicate the song Reverse Faults by Sampha. He did like a little bit with his drums where it was kind of like, yeah, if that makes any sense. And I was kind of trying to do that here with this this chord, Arturia chord filter. So just really intense resonance on it, and then low passing it up and down. I just thought it kind of gave this like cool crunch to like the pre-chorus here. And yeah, that's the and that's happening on the full drum bus too. As you can see, I label my stuff very clearly, so it's easy to tell. But this is the drum bus right here. It's insert 3. And then I also have that sample coming back in a couple times, just to add some kind of like little like embellishments. Oh wait, I forgot about this. Down in here somewhere. Yes, so there's actually saxophone in this song that I recorded. And it only made it into that one spot the whole song. I had a tenor sax for like a week, and I was like, I gotta find a way to get this into the album somewhere. And I recorded that, and then I like because I was borrowing it from someone. And then I was like donezo. I was like, okay, I have to use this take, and I like squeezed it in here right at the end of the. But yeah, let's see where that is coming through at. Okay, so the unmarked channel in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, so there's kind of a lot of effects going down on this. This company's made some of my favorite stuff. Definitely check them out. Their stuff, Sketch Cassette and Digitalis are the ones I use the most, but they've got some banger plugins. I think they just came out with a new one. I still haven't really tried out very much, but yeah. So this is kind of just blasting it out, and then we got some. I was going for a bunch of like phase flange type action on that to kind of like warpify it, but it ended up being pretty low in the mix anyway. Alright, so I guess that takes us to the chorus. By the way, if there's anything like I'm missing that you want to know about, like just leave a comment or something. There's probably going to be like 7 people max who even watch this, but if I miss something that you're curious about, totally let me know, and I can try and answer it. But in the chorus here, we've got a bunch of stuff going on. This is like a Serum, just kind of like, I don't know, EDM, like synth pad, I guess. I was really kind of trying to go for like a really like massive chorus type thing here, and I feel like whenever you just add that like basic super saw pad, it kind of just adds this like EDM intensity to stuff that I find really cool for doing for choruses. What else? We've got pretty much it's during this first chorus, it's pretty much just all the same elements from the track already, just kind of rearranged in a higher intensity. So this is the drums on their own. I was toying with trying to like add some like more like boomy drums, but they sounded good on their own, but I ended up not keeping them and just tweaking the existing like 707 ones I was using. I think down here this is like a crash. Yeah, so nothing too special. Yeah. So then also the kind of the main thing here in this course is this like absurd melody. I kind of wanted to just make something that was like insane, like super fast and like ever changing, but I believe this is also the wave station. I think it's like a Kodo preset. Unfortunately, I somehow muted it. Oh duh, wait, hold on. Oh, it's this preset, yeah, Santur. Yeah, and then during this part, I also tried to line up that same sample here with that melody, so it's like, let me solo them together. Might not, yeah, I think. As you can tell too, I'm kind of sloppy with stuff sometimes, because the hats are not routed to the drum bus. Yeah, I kind of approach music with like a YOLO mentality. I just kind of have fun with it. If stuff isn't perfect, I don't like to stress about it. I kind of just have fun, and at the end of the day, no one's gonna ever know except me. And now you, after me showing you that the hats were on their own thing. So sometimes it is too though that I just want a drum routed just straight to the master, because I want it processed differently or something like that though, and I'm pretty sure that's probably what I did here. But yeah, sometimes you miss stuff, but okay, so this next part, oh yeah, this is the part with the really intense like Juno bass. Yeah, here we go. Oh no, hopefully my CPU holds up. Yeah, I was really going for a data fire style bass line here, and it kind of ended up sounding kind of data wavy, but yeah, I was like, okay, this album's got a lot less like intense bass line stuff going on. I wanted to at least have like something like that somewhere on the album. So I fit it in here. And then originally, actually, the bass line was this like weird preset. It kind of sounds like the song Problem Areas by One Oh Tricks Point Never. Let me see if I can figure out what pattern this is better not. This is what it originally was. Whoop. But as you can see, that's why I didn't use it. It had this really weird. But I really wanted to keep that little spasm thing in the MIDI. I don't even know how I made that. I definitely didn't play that. I probably just drew that in or something. But I thought it sounded really cool. So I just had it pop in for like 1 second here during the bass line to like do that little spasm sound. Yeah. Alright, let's see what else. We've got, ooh, that's CPU not looking good, but we'll continue on. Right when I was like wrapping the song up, I came in here and added like a bunch of like hip hop sound effects. Bro, what? Like a little like kind of like scratch sound effects and stuff. This, alright, bro. Alright, that guy's getting banned. This is like a little just kind of square synth pad from the Juno for sure. I end up having a bounce a lot of stuff to save on CPU when I'm using this laptop, but it's pretty simple stuff right there. Yeah. So pretty much after this part, I kind of just do like like the chillax section of the song. I had a feeling it was this preset, yeah. So the chords are just this alpha piano, a patch from the emulator 2. I think the emulator 2 was like definitely my synth of choice on Remember. It's just got some really cool patches and really cool sampling capabilities if you put your own sounds into it. And yeah, so I really like its arpeggiator too. There's not a lot of synths that have like our sample bass and have an arpeggiator, so I find it really fun to mess with that. Alright, what else do we have going on here? Oh, this right here is like a reversed bell thing. Oh, no, that's not the reversed bell thing. This is the reversed bell. So it's just like a tubular bell, kind of. I don't remember exactly what synth that was from, but originally it was forward, and then I just kind of was like, let's spice things up. This is what it originally was. It was kind of quiet, and then I was like, it might be cool for it to like be reversed in. So yeah, I just went for it there. And that is 2 synths layered. I'm not sure which 2, unfortunately, because I bounced it, but you gotta do what you gotta do to save on CPU. Alright, yeah, so that's kind of what's going on there. Nothing too crazy else. This automation here is just like a low pass filter on the bass line to kind of fade it away. So yeah, right around here, there's another commercial sample that comes in. Just a really big ping pong delay on that one. This is, I think, from the same YouTube rip I took the other sample from. So there's that, pretty much. I think that was like a chicken commercial or something like that, KFC or something. So I find it really fun to like take stuff completely out of context and find like a new purpose for it. And then this little sample right here is that thing from the intro again to kind of like fade into the pre-chorus once again. I thought it fit really nicely with the this single chord is actually done by the unedited version of that pluck rimba preset from the wave station. Let me see where that is. Yeah. So this is just the unedited version of it, because just for that one chord I wanted the attack. But other than that, the whole rest of the song, I have it edited, so it's a slower attack and more pad-like. This, I don't know what this is actually. Oh, that's right, okay. Yeah, so the chicken commercial comes back in this part. The intense bass comes back in, but it's way low passed for most of this pre-chorus. It's basically that same filter work kind of stuff going on the drum bus, except a little like kind of just crazier, a little more unpredictable. I don't like doing in my songs, like I really like stuff to be almost ever changing in a sense. I don't really like to just hit a listener with like a copy paste drop or like a copy paste verse or something like that. Because to me that's just not really like, if it's really good that's great, but I think it's more fun to keep spice things up. So yeah, so yeah, it's the same kind of thing, just slightly different. I think kind of this stereo knob on the filter here is kind of doing most of the heavy lifting for the changes. Okay, unfortunately we're getting some CPU stuff going on, but this, I don't remember what this is. Okay, so I did put the saxophone in this part too. That's kind of just a one note type scenario. How fun. Yeah, here we can solo the drums on this part. It's kind of, I think this part sounds cool with the drums. My CPU's dying, but yeah, I forgot there's a delay that adds in right there. yikes. Yikes, this last part might be bad. But yeah, right at the very end there, I just crank just crank it all the way back to B full low pass to get that like type sound. What is this? That's right, I forgot I did add that like little skid out sample right there. There's a couple other samples from that same commercial in here, but like different sections. Like there's a pay off debt section here, which I have muted. This I don't remember as much what this is. Oh, this is a stock FL sample, and there was like one like tiny moment where there was this like singing. It was like a radio tuning sample where it was like mostly all static, but this one tiny section had this like beep type sound. I thought it would be cool to add. So yeah. Then of course I have the intro like arpeggio thing coming in to lead us into the drop. Yeah, that's bad. This section might be tough. I guess I can do stuff one at a time though. So for the second chorus, I have that same synth bass from the middle of the song to just kind of thicken things out. We've got that arpeggio. I'll come back to that though. With the drums, nothing too crazy different, to be honest. It's just kind of, the only thing that is different is the snare pattern gets a lot busier in the second half of the chorus. And let me see if it's gonna be totally garbled. Yeah. Oh, I was looking at the wrong thing anyway. This right here. So I just have it goes from every other to just every single with the kick pretty much. Unfortunately it's totally crashing out on me CPU wise, so it sounds horrible, but yeah, that's kind of the gist there. The same bass from the beginning also comes back in layers with the Juno bass here, just like I said, to get it just big and mighty. But yeah, this arpeggio kind of is the main like new thing going down in this chorus. CPU's not gonna let us hear that, but at least maybe I can show you what synth it was. So yeah, the emulator too. I don't remember making this one, but apparently it's this Desert Sand preset edited. There you go. What else do we have? This is that same synth pad. Oh yeah, and this lead melody here is different as well. So I kept that kind of lower in the mix. I just wanted like an extra melodic layer kind of to this big rush of noise for this last chorus. And yeah, there wasn't anything too special with the synth work here either. It's just the Juno full cut off. Yeah, I was just kind of going for something buzzy that would like slightly cut through, but I could also pull back in there. And then yeah, I guess that takes us to the outro, which is kind of just the chords and that arpeggio just going fading out with that same commercial chopped up a bunch of times. One of the things I like to do a lot when I'm sampling is I really don't like using the stem splitters, because I feel like when you have like a sample that has the whole track in it, you kind of get a lot of extra texture and like melodic kind of noise in there, and I think it adds a lot to kind of like, because in the actual final song you can't hear all that, like you literally can't hear the music underneath that, you just hear the vocal. But I don't know, I just find it fun to like not use those like stem splitters or whatever. I think it's I find it more interesting to like work with like the song itself and being unable to change what was recorded by whoever made it. So, but yeah, and then at the very end, I end the song off on the third chord to like give it like a kind of a mysterious ending type sound. So, yeah, I mean that's pretty much it for Pixel Replica. It's honestly, there's not that much going on here. Um, yeah, it's kind of honestly one of the among the simpler of the like intense songs on Remember. But yeah, if there's something I didn't answer about this that you're curious on, totally shout it down in the comments and I will try and respond to it. But yeah, I might do more of these. I don't know if anyone wants a different track. I guess shout that out in the comments too. I'm gonna try and see if maybe I can do like a stem walkthrough or something different for Become Ruin at least, since that's the one most people wanted. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed, and I'll catch you in the next one.